want to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Another hanging in Mississippi, the Cory Sakatus case. Salute to the chat. Salute to all of my moderators. Salute to the replay gang. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. What that means is that everything that you hear in this demonstration is for entertainment and educational purposes only. The state of Michigan has been known for lynchings, hangings, since as early as the 1800s. The cases are very, very high. I believe Mississippi is leading the nation in cases of hanging. Mississippi has lynched black people, white people, and others. Now, 2 cases in one day, 2 cases of someone being hanged in Mississippi in one day. We talked about the case that happened on the Delta State University with the 21-year-old college kid. On that same day in Vicksburg, Mississippi, they found this young man, 36 years old, in a wooded area hanging from a tree. What is going on in Mississippi? Let's tap into what we know of this hanging. Is not much, but let's tap into what we do know.
On the air with breaking news out of Vicksburg tonight, where a man was found hanged. According to the Warren County coroner, 36-year-old Cory Sakatus was found in a wooded area near a casino. The coroner said he was found at 10:30 this morning. The circumstances of his death have not yet been released.
Let's look at these. Let's look at what's. So here's the context of white lynchings in Mississippi. Although the vast majority of lynchings in the South were of black individuals used to enforce white supremacy, white people were also victims of mob violence. Reasons for lynching a white person varied and concluded. These are some of the reasons why whites were lynched: aiding black people. Some white individuals were killed for helping black people or for being anti-lynching activists. Then another reason, political intimidation. As early as 1873, white citizens in some Mississippi counties used extra legal violence to oust black individuals from political office. So let's tap into the aiding black people. This is why some whites were lynched. And this is why I say that even in those days, there were white people. There wasn't many, but there were white people that aided in helping black people. I believe that there would have been more white people that would have been anti-lynching, and more white people would have been involved with the help of Black people in our fight for justice. But peer pressure, they were worried about what their white buddies, their white family members would say. And not only was they worried about what they white family friends and buddies would say, they feared getting lynching. I mean, this is something that, as y'all can see, even in 2025, it still exists. The lynchings, it still exists. However, back then, it wasn't a law. Back then, we wasn't protected. No way around the monopoly board. Whereas though today, of course, there's laws and it's a crime. But back then, it wasn't no crime for them to lynch a Black person. It wasn't a crime for them to lynch a white person that was aiding in Black people's struggle. Now, let's fast forward to 2025. What is these two lynchings? What are they representing? What sign? They're telling us something. They're telling us something. Now, there has been, I noticed on social media, they have the second individual, the one that we're talking about, Cory Sakatus. They have a picture of a light-skinned man, a Black man. That's a false picture. This is the actual picture of the second individual that they found hanging in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Anybody want to chop it up with me? Any comments? America, America, America. It's not looking good for us. It's not. And I know plenty of you all say it gotta get better, Shank Rock. Don't gotta get better. You know what I mean? Something bigger must be happening. They're trying to keep us distracted. Once again, the narratives that we buy into. This ain't the first time that they threw something at us to try to distract us. They've always thrown stuff at us to try to distract us. Aren't y'all tired? I mean, the American people, we're not tired of the same play being ran on us over and over again. It was ran on our forefathers and mothers. It was ran on our great-great-grandparents, our great-parents, our grandparents, our parents, us. It's being ran on our children. The same play. How are they able to get away with running the same play on the American people, generation after generation? It's terrible that history is repeating itself and not in a good way. I see you, Capricorn, Miss Douglas, GG. African Queen. But see, they showing you that it don't make a difference your gender. It don't make a difference your political views. It don't make a difference your religion. It don't make a difference your race. If you go against them, if you go against the grain, the same consequences applies to all of us. Let me see if it's something else. And I don't know why there's not more information out about this. Because this happened yesterday. James says, Shank, I had dinner in a small town in North Carolina with a dinner party. Soon as we walked in, everybody got up and left, and we were the only ones eating. And it's sad, y'all. It's sad. Last week, we was in Tennessee, and I went into a Bojangles, and I was the only black person in that Bojangles, and there were 3 older white men, had to be in their 60s or 70s. They turned around, they stared at me. I mean, they gave me that look. I mean, no cut cards or nothing, y'all. They didn't try to hide it. They looked at me like this. What did I do? I got my funky ass up out of there. Quick in a hurry. You ain't got to show me. But it's sad, y'all, that in 2025, we still have those that just won't let it go. You know, times has changed. People have changed. It's a new world. And some folks are still stuck back in time. FBA is not mad enough yet. I'm ready, y'all. What we doing? I'm with you. Just let me know. Like I tell everybody, I might not got the answers. I might not got the solutions. I have answers. I have solutions. People might not want to roll with my solutions and my actions, but I'll roll with any of y'all solutions or actions. I don't have no problem. My issue, I think that, I see you call it, the look tells it all. I think that what has to happen, in my honest opinion, I think that we got to make sacrifices. We got to make sacrifices. Our lifestyles is really one of the things that hurt us, because the majority of us, we live a luxury lifestyle, things that we want. And it's going to come down to us sacrificing the things that we want. And I know that right there alone is going to discourage. That right there alone is going to have many people that's going to say, Shank, I ain't with that. I like my nice cars. I like my nice house. I like the jewelry that I wear. I like the nice clothes that I wear. So a lot of people, that right there is going to turn them off. But we're going to have to sacrifice, y'all. We can't keep coming nicely. They not on that. That's facts. That's facts. FBA be acting too scary for me. I don't think to just go out and just randomly just start violence. I don't think that. I think that in cases like this, when violence is perpetrated towards anyone that's fighting for justice, when violence is perpetrated towards anyone, especially in situations like this, I think that we should be in Vicksburg, Mississippi. We should be in Cleveland, Mississippi. And I think that we should hold a protest. I think that it should be some accountability taken on by the citizens for the police department to investigate these cases thoroughly. The autopsy, we want to see this autopsy. We want an autopsy. We want in the hanging on the college campus, we want video footage. You mean to tell me there's no cameras around? I think that'll be the start, holding these individuals accountable. Now, I will say this: if they push up on you, you know, I feel like we should be able to defend ourselves. And if we get arrested for it, I feel like we should be able to stand on self-defense. Appreciate the super chat, Miss Douglas. Time for a change. We have to do something different. We got to do something different. We got to make sacrifices. You know, if it calls for us, like when Pastor Jamal Bryant initiated the Target boycott, well, let's initiate. We could start with 3 days of us not going to work. We got X amount of states with X amount of cities. So just imagine if a protest took place all around these states and all around these cities for 3 days, where we don't go into work. I know, but Shank, I got bills to pay. Well, until we make these kind of sacrifices, that change, if it comes, it's going to come very, very slow. Because in order to make a stance, in order to hurt them, you got to hurt them in their pockets. If you pick up a weapon and go out there and try to fight them and all that, they only going to lock you up and throw you in jail. With all due respect, Shank, that's what's been done. They keep doing that. That's not stopping nothing. I agree. Now, if that's why I said, if y'all got some solutions, talk to me. You know, I know many people feel like we got to get violent with them. I'm not going to promote it, but if that was the call, I would be right there with y'all rolling. I'm a soldier. I've always been a soldier. Whatever it is we doing, let's roll. Well, that's a great point, Shank. I see what you're saying. Make moves other ways. Gotcha. I had heard on TikTok in July that melanated people wasn't working tomorrow. So I took off work. And see, that's what has to happen. And see, with that, we got to get real strategic with it. But just keep doing these type of things. Okay, melanated people don't go to work. But now what we got to do is we got to include everybody in it. Because the last time I checked, y'all, even though melanated people are the most in this country that's being discriminated against and being held back, there are other races that will join in with us and help us. So if we move away from making everything about black people, I think move it around for everybody, because it's not only black Americans, it's not only black people that's fighting the injustice. Although we keep our agenda, we don't never let our agenda go as black Americans, but I think it's okay to open it up for everybody else to join in. People tired. You know, they're tired. And they've been tired for the longest time. You know what I mean? I see you, Sages. Right. Great point. It has to be a global movement. Now that right there, that'll really put a hurting on them. They're not going to want to see that. If it's just black people, they don't have the resources. They don't have the reach. Those ninjas, they can't stick together. But when you open it up, and it's a global, when you open it up, and you got all these other different people pulling together for one cause, that's power. Me too, Shank. I'm a soldier. We got to do something. It's getting worse to get. Put the money in black dollars business. That's true. Good morning, Shank. I'm from Indianola, Mississippi. We need a protest all over Mississippi because we not safe in our own home, and kids can't go out to play. Neither is the school not safe, and that is sad. Shout out to all my people down there in Mississippi. Mississippi is a rough place. And if you can get out of Mississippi, please get out of Mississippi. That's a rough spot. And it's been a rough spot for hundreds of years. I see you, Tyson. Question, Shank. Do you believe in segregation? I do believe in segregation. I believe that if black people, if we had our own towns, if we had our own cities and things of that nature, I think that we would benefit. I think that you would see, I give it 50 years, you would see black people advance. You would really see us. And I know for a fact, the ignorant black folks, the foolish black folks, those funky ass black folks, we wouldn't tolerate that. So I do believe in segregation. I see you, TT. I just don't understand how they continue to make these acts okay and justified. I'm with you. Emmett Till, Lord Jesus, we are free. Now, with the Caucasians that's building their own white town, I'm for that. I'm for that. And maybe not black people being segregated, although I'll roll with that. But maybe if those whites that has that white supremacist mind frame, if they can just be segregated from everybody, and any others that have that white supremacist mind frame, or anybody that has that type of mind frame that their race is superior, segregate them. Segregate them. Get them away from everybody else. I think that segregation would definitely help everybody. I believe in segregation too. Black communities have thrived without interference. We saw it. The whole world. We saw. We know. Even Charlie Kirk spoke on our greatness. Leave us alone. Seriously. If you leave us alone and we don't need y'all to be the polices in our community, we'll police our own community. Because then it'll be a different drum that the black police officers have to dance to. See, the black police officers are the way they are because they got to dance to white supremacy. But we police our own. We take care of our own. You'll see a civilization. You'll see a race of people. And that's what they fear. That's what they fear. They fear us on top. But the thing about this, and if you go through history, when black people are on top, same way we are today, we might fight amongst each other. But other cultures, other races, we don't bother them. We break bread with other cultures. So any other nationality, y'all wouldn't have to worry about whether or not black people would enslave y'all. We don't do that to other people. Y'all wouldn't have to worry about black people discriminating against y'all. We don't do that to other people. We only do that amongst ourselves. But I can promise you, y'all, let us get segregated and let us have our own towns and communities. I promise you, within 50 years, we will be leading the nation. We will be leading the world when it comes to economics, when it comes to any and everything that you can imagine. Because let's just be honest, the whole world thrives off of Black American culture. The culture vultures. How would the culture vultures eat and take the money, the resources? How would they eat and take it back to their communities if we got our own? They wouldn't. So what would happen to the other nations? What would happen? Everything with them would decline. And everything with us would rise up. But this is why they don't want us. They don't want us to rise up because they know the day that Black Americans rise up, everybody going to rise, but is they willing to accept that Africa will not rise until Black Americans rise. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Black Americans is the key to Africa rising up. Black Americans is the key to it all. You can take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Just look at everything that Black Americans do. Everybody want to imitate us. And I saw this right here, y'all. 70 families just bought 7 acres of land in Georgia. That's what's up. They didn't talk about it. They were about it. Let's tap into the 70 families that brought those 5 acres in Georgia. Let's tap into it. Even if you ain't from Georgia, let's tap into it. Come on now. You talking some good stuff. I agree with you. Like I said, we were, and this ain't nothing new. This is nothing that Shank came up with. Everything that you hear me say, you probably heard it from somebody else. Everything that you hear is documented. It's documented. Let's go back before welfare came into play. See, let's look at how they destroyed our community and why did they do it. Let's look at welfare. That man can't be in that house, right? So that gave the women a sense of, I don't need no man, right? They destroyed us with that play as far as welfare, right? They destroyed us when they infiltrated all of our movements. Go back to our movements. Every Black organization, every Black movement was infiltrated. And who did they get to infiltrate us? Another Black person. Fast forward to when they flooded the community with drugs and guns. Y'all remember we could leave our doors open. Y'all remember? We could leave our front doors open. Yes or no? We could go to the store. Nobody in the house. We could leave the front door open. Windows up. Nobody coming up in your house. Little kids could play outside. It was safe in our community. What happened? Pop said it best. They all want to be like us. What happened? Be about it. Yep. Tyson, glad you're here, dear. Then came crack. Many are too young, and I don't fault those because they wasn't around. So if you wasn't around during the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, you can't comprehend it. We wasn't like this overnight. I mean, you really had fun back in the days. Y'all remember? The worstest thing that would happen to you, you would get stabbed. Somebody might stab you. But you fought. You would get in a fight. That's it. You wouldn't lose your life. I mean, all due respect, that was one of MLK's biggest mistakes, trying to unite blacks and whites. I'm just saying. That's facts, James. That's facts. But they twisted his narrative. Was it most of the drugs made from the U.S. government? That's facts. That's facts. And see, once again, they use us all as pawns. And it's just so messed up that a few is ruling the majority of us through division amongst the races. But that's why I gotta constantly shout out those non-blacks that see it in this dropping these jewels. Like I said, they see it. The average Caucasian, the average Asian, Hispanic, that everybody, they see how the government played us all. They played us all. How is it that the veterans, America won't even take care of their veterans? Our own people. Come on now. Shank, please order Hidden Colors, please. It's a great documentary. I saw Hidden Colors. I saw all 4. Not unless it's a 5th one that came out, but I saw Hidden Colors. Now, Hidden Colors, that gave it up. Like when you see, it's so much information that's out here that if you still don't get it, ain't nothing I could do for you. It just is nothing I could do for you if you still don't get it. Don't get in the mindset or the perception of woke culture. Woke culture has been around for ages. I'll say it again. The 3 forerunners to everything, and there were many others, but I'm just telling y'all. Marcus Garvey with the Pan-African movement, Noble Drew Ali with More Science, Temple of America, Honorable Elijah Muhammad with Nation of Islam. Those are the 3. Trace everything back to them 3, and you're going to see ain't nothing new. And even trace it further than them. This information has been out there way before the woke culture. The hell, people be saying, yeah, because I learned from the woke culture. And I be like, the woke culture? Are you crazy? But I get it. because some people are just getting it. And I get it because of social media, and I'm not trying to throw no shade. But try knowledge of self. Appreciate this super sticker, TT. And if you would like to help me reach my goal for this demonstration, 15 super stickers or super chats, just click on the $ symbol. Wise words from a wise man. No one should have to lock doors. All are welcome. Yes, yes, so true. We could take a nap. Nobody was coming in on you. I meant to say, wasn't most of the drugs put out by our own government? Facts. You know, our own government. But why? Why? And it wasn't until, and this is what I'm saying, my Caucasian people and Asians and everybody else, and y'all know it. When they plan the destruction for us, many of you all are going to get caught in it as well. But 2025, y'all, we still have lynchings. And this is Cory Sakatus. A white man was lynched on the same day that the young brother was lynched. Why hasn't it gotten any media attention? Right? Why hasn't these lynching? Now the brother's lynching is starting to get a lot of attention, but why hasn't this man's lynching gotten any attention? Sad, y'all. I'm trying to find. Appreciate this super sticker, Miss Douglas. My bad, y'all. I'll drop the link if anybody want to join me. Let me see, y'all.
Six-year-old Cory Sakatus.
Let me see what TikTok got for us. Let me go to TikTok and see what TikTok got for us. Why was he lynched? Was he advocating for us? I came late. Well, as of right now, he was homeless. The Caucasian man that was lynched that day, he was homeless. So it's really not that much out on why he was lynched. I'm going to go to TikTok and see if I can find something. I pray for my kids every night and hope to God that nothing happens to them with as crazy as the world has become. Now I'm scared. And I'm with you, April. It's nobody's safe. You know? Let me jump on TikTok and see. What they talking about on TikTok. All right, here we go, y'all.
All right, guys, we already heard about Trey Reed over at Delta State University that was hanging from a tree. Now we have another one that happened at around 1:30 this afternoon, and his name was Cory Sakatus. And this happened in Vicksburg, Mississippi. And they said that at around 1:30 p.m., officers with the Vicksburg Police Department received a call. And when they arrived, Cory, he was hanging from a wooded area in the 4100 block of Washington Street. And this was near the Ameristar Casino. I did a little bit more digging and saw Cory is originally from Deltona, Florida, and he's living with, I think, his stepfather in Brandon. Cory was homeless in that area. This is being treated as a death investigation. And I'm telling you now, these are not just random, okay? These are not random. These right here seem like they're targeted. People actually did this to somebody. That's how I feel because, yeah, the milk stinks and the water stinks. And I saw the other picture that was being passed around, and I was like, wait a minute, I covered that story because he was unalive by some people who he thought was his friends. I covered that maybe almost a month ago. But look, it's time to keep our heads on swivel, you guys. And it don't matter who you are. It don't matter what color you are. Man, that dark cloud is going around and it's getting people. Hopefully they find out what happened to Cory and they find out what happened to Trey, because both of them right there, the milk stinks and the water stinks. And we want to get justice for both of them.
I'm going to go to one more, y'all. Give me 1 second. That's not her. Oh, man. Damn, y'all. Let me try this. Can't get it from that way. Okay, I see how I can get it. I'm coming, y'all. Deep dive. There we go. There we go.
They found a second man.
All right. Appreciate that super sticker, RK. Appreciate the gifted membership. If you receive a gifted membership from RK, please thank her for your gifted membership.
Hanging from a tree in Mississippi. So now 2 men of the same race were found climbing in trees with rope and died of natural causes. That's what they're telling me. There's no foul play. None? Nothing seems off. There wasn't a group that used to do this frequently to the same kind of people in the same way for the same reason. I have several questions, but the first of which is like, do they think we're fucking dumb?
She hit it on the nose, y'all. Do they think we're dumb? People, we're just tired. We're tired. One more, y'all. One more.
So there are two men now in the past 48 hours who have been found hanging in Mississippi. A black man named Tyler Reed at Delta State University, and another man named Cory Sakatus. I'm not sure if he's white or mixed, but these are targeted. Tyler Reed's case, he was found with broken bones and bruises on his body, and yet somehow that was deemed a suicide. We all know that's not fucking true. So pressure needs to be being put on law enforcement in Mississippi to figure out what the fuck's going on. I also would really like to know how the National Guard is being sent out to all these other areas, right? They're bad. While people consistently keep getting fucking lynched in the state of Mississippi. So everybody's eyes needs to be on Mississippi right now and demanding answers for both cases.
Did y'all hear what she said? How is it that the National Guards can be sent out to all these other bad cities, but no National Guards down there in Mississippi where folks have been getting lynched and to this day still getting lynched? That's why I love TikTok, y'all. Appreciate this, Arcade. Us, US so bad, they truly are intimidated by us. If you're not on TikTok, download the TikTok app. That's why I love TikTok, y'all. TikTok do not be playing around. And I see everybody on TikTok. I mean, just stating facts. You know, and I'm going to keep on stressing it, y'all. It's about us as the American people. We, the American people, has to do better. We, as the American people, has to take accountability. First, we got to start in our own backyards. First, as the American people, we got to clean up our own houses first. Black people, we got to clean up our houses first. White people got to clean up their houses first. Asians, Hispanics, Italians, Middle Eastern, any and everybody that's in this country that's legal, you got to start first with cleaning up your backyard. As Christians, you can't point the finger at Muslims. As Muslims, you can't point the finger at Christians. As Democrats, you can't point the fingers at Republicans. Republicans, you can't point the fingers at Republicans. Take that finger that you pointing to others and point that finger back at yourself. Listen, y'all. Hey, I'm going to keep stressing it, but as the American people, we got to do better. We got to come together. We got to treat each other with respect, compassion, and love. Facts, I totally agree with her. I see you, Dale. They want our rhythm, but don't want our blues. It was confirmed by the coroner that Tyler Reed did not have any broken bones. They are still waiting on the autopsy. This is beyond sad, and I'm praying for the families. Let's go. I appreciate everybody for pulling up with me. Salute. I'll see everybody back, let's say 12:30. All right. I'll see everybody back at 12:30. I'll leave the chat running and you all can hang around. Salute everybody.
So there are 2 men now in the past 48 hours who have been found hanging in Mississippi. A black man named Tyler Reed at Delta State University, and another man named Cory Sakatus. I'm not sure if he's white or mixed, but these are targeted. Tyler Reed's case, he was found with broken bones and bruises on his body, and yet somehow that was deemed a suicide. We all know that's not fucking true. So pressure needs to be being put on law enforcement in Mississippi to figure out what the fuck's going on. I also would really like to know how the National Guard is being sent out to all these other areas, right? They're bad. While people consistently keep getting fucking lynched in the state of Mississippi. So everybody's eyes needs to be on Mississippi right now and demanding answers for both cases. And they have not deemed Cory's a suicide. They are investigating this like it is a homicide. Tyler Reed's case, I don't even care that if I'm doing this stone right or not. So just leave me alone. Okay, it works. We really need to be putting pressure on Tyler Reed's case. His family's demanding justice, and we should be too for him, because this is just completely fucked. So there are 2 men now in the past 48 hours who have been found hanging in Mississippi. A black man named Tyler Reed at Delta State University, and another man named Cory Sakatus. I'm not sure if he's white or mixed, but these are targeted. Tyler Reed's case, he was found with broken bones and bruises on his body, and yet somehow that was deemed a suicide. We all know that's not fucking true. So pressure needs to be being put on law enforcement in Mississippi to figure out what the fuck's going on. I also would really like to know how the National Guard is being sent out to all these other areas, right? They're bad. While people consistently keep getting fucking lynched in the state of Mississippi. So everybody's eyes needs to be on Mississippi right now and demanding answers for both cases. And they have not deemed Cory's a suicide. They are investigating this like it is a homicide. Tyler Reed's case, I don't even care that if I'm doing this stone right or not. So just leave me alone. Okay, it works. We really need to be putting pressure on Tyler Reed's case. His family's demanding justice, and we should be too for him, because this is just completely fucked. So there are